How I fixed wrong vendor balances in QuickBooks. Are you staring at your QuickBooks vendor reports, feeling that familiar knot of frustration because the balances are all wrong? You've got a critical report due, you're trying to reconcile your accounts payable, and nothing seems to line up. Maybe a vendor you know you paid still shows a massive balance due, or perhaps a vendor you barely use has a confusing credit sitting there. I've been there, and I know how maddening it is when you can't trust the numbers right in front of you. This isn't just a minor annoyance. A wrong vendor balance can throw off your entire financial picture. It means your accounts payable is inaccurate, your future cash flow projections are flawed, and you might even double pay a vendor or miss a crucial discount. For a long time, I struggled with this, thinking my whole file was corrupted. But after some deep dives and careful troubleshooting, I uncovered the 3 most common reasons these balances go haywire and, more importantly, the step-by-step fixes. The 3 balance killers and how to fix them. The key to fixing a wrong vendor balance is to think of it like a detective story. You have to trace the transaction trail to find the single point where the connection broke. 1. The disconnected bill payment. This is the most frequent culprit. You think you've paid a bill, but the payment transaction was never actually linked to the original bill in QuickBooks. The symptom: your vendor balance is inflated by the amount of the bill, but your bank account shows the money went out. The fix: go to the vendor in question and look at their transaction list. Find the original bill and the matching bill payment, check or expense. If they aren't linked, you need to edit the bill payment. In the payment transaction, you should see a section or table allowing you to select which bills are being paid. Make sure the correct bill is ticked off. If the payment was entered as an expense without using the Pay Bills feature, you may need to delete the expense and re-enter it correctly using the Pay Bills workflow to ensure the link is established. Once linked, the 2 transactions will offset each other, and the vendor balance should correct instantly. 2. Unapplied credits, discounts, or deposits. Sometimes you've recorded a vendor credit, perhaps for a returned item or a discount you took, but that credit is just floating in the ether, waiting to be applied. The symptom: the vendor balance is higher than it should be, or you see a negative balance, a credit that hasn't been used up. The fix: go to the Pay Bills window, select the vendor. Any available unapplied credits should show up automatically in a separate section. Make sure you check the box to apply credit against the bill you are paying. If you have an old, unused credit, you may need to create a dummy bill for the exact amount of the credit and then immediately use the Pay Bills window to apply the credit to that bill, effectively clearing it out of the vendor balance if it's no longer useful. 3. Transactions posted to the wrong date. QuickBooks calculates the vendor balance based on the date you run your report. If you entered a payment with a date after the bill's date, but the report you're looking at is only up to the bill's date, the balance will appear incorrect. The symptom: your vendor's A/P aging report is correct, but the vendor's main balance or a custom report shows the wrong number. The fix: run the vendor transaction detail report for the vendor, ensuring you select all dates. Carefully examine the dates of the bills and the corresponding payments. If a payment is dated far after the reporting period, the balance is technically correct as of that date. The fix here is often just correcting the date on the payment transaction to the actual date the money left your bank. Be careful when changing dates, especially in a closed period. The final step: verification. Once you've made your fixes, always run the vendor balance detail report again. Compare the final balance with the vendor's last statement. If they match, you've successfully played detective and reconciled your books. If the balance is now 0, you're good to go. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.